Well, hey folks, today I want to do something a little bit different, and I want to highlight two different things on two different podcasts that I came across last week and share them with you to hopefully encourage you, but also to lift up some people that are out there doing stuff for disc golf that I think is just encouraging. And so we're going to take a look at it and talk about it a little bit right after the intro. Okay, folks, I like to watch a lot of disc golf content. Most of it is, people playing and doing different stuff, testing out discs, whatever. But I'm also trying to drop in and listen to different podcasts. And I'm going to highlight two different podcasts in this video here. And here's the thing, guys. We're not in a competition. We're not, I'm not hoping that this guy will fail so that I'll do better, et cetera, like that. We want to lift each other up. And this is a chance for me to say, hey, there's some folks out there doing some stuff that resonates with my heart, and hopefully it'll encourage you. Now, the other side that I've noticed in disc golf is there's history with everybody. Oh, this guy did this guy did that. I've kind of come back into this just a few years back, so I don't know the big history of a lot of these folks. I'm playing catch up. So all I know is what I've seen and how I've interacted with different people. And I'm just going to highlight what I can and say, hey, I really like what these guys are saying and what they're trying to do. Now, let's face it, we are all flawed. We are all broken. We all need help from other people, and especially from our Savior. And so this is not a, hey, this guy is perfect, or you should follow this guy, but I'm just giving you an opportunity to get to know these guys a little bit better, and also to maybe encourage you to think a little bit differently about disc golf, the business of disc golf, and the people who you're interacting with and who you're supporting. That's all I can do. Is I liked these two segments, these two folks talking about different stuff, and I just wanted to share it with you because it might encourage you. Here's the thing. You may have some podcasts or things that you've seen throughout the week, maybe in the week coming up. Send me an email or a comment and say, hey, check this out, check out this time frame or whatever. And I'd love to be encouraged that way. And maybe I'll try to do another one of these segments where I'm showing, kind of highlighting the good stuff of disc golf. Let's face it, lately it's all been, is disc golf declining? What's going on with disc golf? I'm excited about the heart and the character of people trying to make a go here in disc golf. And so I want to encourage them and I want to encourage you. And let's see how we do. Here we got two different podcasts. Make sure to check them out. I'll leave the links in the description below, and hopefully it'll encourage you. Thank you so much for watching. Let's jump into it.
For us, and this is going to be where this sounds churchy or something, but I actually mean it. We really did want to create these places of belonging for disc golfers. Disc golfers are weird. We're kind of mutts. You can't just go into a sports bar somewhere and be able to talk to people about disc golf. You're probably not going to run into somebody that's a huge disc golfer. And so having places that are cultural hubs for disc golf in these key disc golf markets, it's not just a business thing. It's I've had conversations with people in stores, had a conversation with a guy in Denver that pulled me outside and was like, I knew zero people outside of my work. And I would just go to work and go to my apartment. And for years, that's how I lived in Denver. And I was tragically lonely. And he's like, now, when I had to move the other day, every person I thought to call to help me move, and every actual deep relationship I have in my life outside of family back home has happened inside the walls of this store. And these are the buddies that I go out and play with every week. And this is so for me, even though it's slower money, long term, that's what we want to be as a brand and that's, so of course we sell online and we do, marketing stuff. We don't do any paid ads, or we don't pay any money for SEO or stuff, because we're pumping all that money into growth and brick and mortar in these stores. But it's because we really believe in it. It means something to us to do it this way. And we hear these stories, even anecdotally, where it's here's another one. Our store in Austin, Texas, had this Ace Bounty thing where 20 holes in town all had Ace Bounties on them. And the kid that won it and it was kind of intense. There were a bunch of stipulations on it, and anyway, the kid that won the Ace Bounty and like got the grand prize, him and his dad went out to courses together to film. I guess they had just recently started playing and like found the store together, but the mother of the kid and the wife of the guy had died of cancer and had recently died, and disc golf was like their way to connect together, and they are in the store every single week. And like when Nick, who owns the store in Austin, called me, he told me about it with tears in his eyes. It's like these are real people. And so I think what happens a lot of times in any industry, and it's because the stresses of it push in on you, and it's really challenging, and it's small business, and every threat feels existential. Everything just kind of devolves into being every customer's a number, and we need to have this many customers do this many transactions a day to keep things on pace or whatever. And for us, it's names and real people, and so anyway, that sounds like corporate speak or like some sort of cheesy saccharine thing, but it's real for us. All of this stuff is really personal to me, and I'm putting my whole self in it. It's not like a divided thing where this is just some sort of buttoned up business thing. And so, yeah, I mean, I not as a means of, greasing the wheel or something, but in a very real sense, I want to have actual personal relationships with the people that we're doing business with. And I don't want to do business with people that suck. And so, that's one of the reasons why you see us do so much stuff with Discraft, is because we just have really, really good rapport, and they are a good company to work with, and they consistently over and over again do the right thing. And that even behind the scenes with stuff that nobody sees is doing stuff that's like for the future of disc golf, and not just with profits in mind. And so, not that this is some sort of a 3D chess marketing thing for Discraft, but things like that are birthed out of relational things.
Have you ever talked with Dave McCormick?
Mm-hmm. I have.
I've never had a phone call or a conversation with him that lasted less than an hour. And
Same. I thought I was going to have a 10-minute call once, Kevin. Yeah, and like an hour later,
do not exist.
That's
like,
funny.
I gotta go.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Dave is. What I will say about Gateway is, it's like one of the things is like anytime there's a smaller brand in disc golf, especially because disc golf's already kind of small, it's very easy to like just comb over and not pay attention to a smaller brand. And some of the things that like when I was on Prodigy for a year on their court, like their tour team, and then I went over to Gateway, and some people were like, man, that kind of like doesn't really fit your brand, because I feel like historically Gateway's had kind of like almost like a stoner vibe, and I'm very like clean cut, don't drink alcohol, don't do drugs, dad, and so the brand image like didn't mesh super well. But getting to know the guys and like the people behind the company, I was just like, there are no better people in this sport that love the sport more than these people. They just don't necessarily always know how to get that message across. So I've always said it, and I've said it straight to his face. I'll say it live right now. Dave McCormick is maybe the most passionate and one of the most knowledgeable people in the world about discs, but he is not a put me in front of the camera and let me explain to you why this disc is good guy, because that video Instagram would send the warning too long. So again, hopefully I'm just trying to focus our message a little bit and bring some more fun content and get people to show stuff, because I really do believe Gateway makes some of the best discs in disc golf, and I've thrown every brand. So I think in the future, as these especially open bag players are going to start throwing some Gateway molds. I know like one of the players is Zach Nash, is a good friend of mine. He bombs the disc, and he was telling me, he's like, the Realm is the farthest flying disc I've ever thrown. He's like, for all my distance competitions this year, I'm going to be throwing one, and he's not sponsored by us.
Like you said, Dave's a genius first and foremost. They have an incredible molds. I just don't think people really know about it. And I think a large part of that to do with it is just the marketing, to be honest. So
I mean, what you just said is like 100% nailed it on the head. I have had multiple conversations with Dave. He is extremely against the collector market in disc golf, regardless of the value it brings to the company, because, and it goes back to exactly what I just said, is Dave just wants people to freaking go play disc golf. So go to Disc South because it's going to be awesome. And Ben puts on an awesome expo. I didn't think I was going to be able to go. And I last minute bought a ticket, drove to Detroit, flew up, and I just came for one day, and it was totally worth it.
Well, there you go, guys. I hope that encourages you, and maybe it gets you thinking about not necessarily even just these guys, but how we can be focused more on the heart and the community of disc golf over the business of disc golf. I know it challenges me, and I want this to be a place where we can build hearts and relationships. And as I've always said, let's strive to be better disc golfers, but more importantly, be better people because of disc golf. So there you go, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around with me. If you've made it all the way to here, I really appreciate it. And hey, I would love for you to like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, I'm trying to get to 3,000 right before the expo, which is coming up by the time you see this. It's only going to be in a few days. So I need, at the time of this recording, I need 70 more subscriptions to get to 3,000. So that'd be kind of fun. Anyway, that's all I got for today. And I just really do appreciate you taking the time to spend with me, listen to me babble. And I hope this encouraged you, and I hope to see you out on the course.